Mamak Media. Lepak together, share cerita.
Welcome back to Mamak Media, Lepak Together, Share Cerita. So our podcast topic today is MBTI Apa Tu? Personality Types Unpacked. I'm your host today, I'm Emily.
I'm your co-host today. I'm Cailyn.
I'm Ying, and today together we will explore the history, trends, and also common myths surrounding MBTI. I will be your other co-host for today.
So what are personality tests? So it basically is like a tools to understand people, how they interact with people, or what motivates them, or like their emotions and stuff like this. So we start with the boring history session. Have you guys done the 16 personality test? And what's your MBTI type?
My MBTI type is ENTJ.
Mine is INFJ.
I'm INFP. So we are two introverts today.
Yeah, and one extrovert.
The Myers-Briggs type indicator was developed back then in the 1940s by Catherine Cook Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs-Meyer. And actually the whole thing is inspired by Carl Jung's theory on personality. And yeah.
Wow, I just realized that it was made in World War II so long ago.
Yeah, and I think I've heard something about Carl Jung's theories being behind it. It's basically all about understanding the personality types.
Yeah, so MBTI, it sort us into like 16 personality types and using 4 pairs like extrovert versus introversion and judging versus perceiving and also thinking versus feeling and sensing versus intuition. This test has questions like if you prefer being alone or you prefer social with others. So this your choice will show your behavior and decision making styles.
And like, I guess those preferences, they can help us like figure out what kind of careers might suit us, right?
Yeah, it's like a personalized roadmap that they often present pairs of statements. For example, they might ask like, if are you focus on the details more or you enjoy exploring the big picture more. Like your choice will reveal whether you learn more toward sensing or intuition.
That makes sense. I can see how MBTI helps us to understand more like personal and also professional settings.
Yeah, but I think it's also about relationships too. Because like knowing your type can like improve how you communicate with others. Plus, it can also help you appreciate like other people's different perspectives.
Yeah, so specifically for extroversion and introversion, the question is about explore energy sources. Like in extroverts feel more energized by socializing, while introverts recharge alone.
Yeah, for sensing and also intuition, sensor tend to more focus on facts and details, and for intuitive will look more in the future possibility or like bigger pictures. Yeah.
Wait, what about thinking T or feeling F?
So for thinkers, they make decisions based on logic, while feelers they prioritize more on personal values and emotion. And for the last pair is judging J and perceiving. Judges prefer organized and well-planned approaches, while perceivers more enjoy like flexibility.
I see. So basically, this helps to reveal our natural preferences, and also it helps us to build up self-awareness, I think, and also enhance communication. Maybe like introverts can know their natural preferences and tend to learn how to speak more, encourage them. Yeah.
So it's all like about understanding ourselves.
Yeah, true. So before we deeply discuss the extroversion and introversion, do you guys know how extroverts and introverts are defined by Carl Jung?
I think introversion means like shyness, while extroversion is like someone who's very like outgoing.
But in my opinion, the main difference between introversion and extroversion is actually how they recover their social battery. For example, like introverts recharge alone while extroverts gain energy from socializing.
Okay, you two are not wrong, but depends on how Jung described the introverts and extroverts. He described that extrovert is someone who adapts to situations, and introverts will more like who sticks to their preferences. So these are personality definition. They keep changing nowadays.
Yeah, I heard that they are like quite talkative and expressive comfortably. They like to share their thoughts and their feelings and they also prefer discussing ideas and quiet reflection. But like action-oriented by nature, extroverts do enjoy jumping into new experiences and engaging in hands-on activities. In collaborative environments, they truly do shine. They thrive on teamwork and like they're really good in brainstorming sessions.
Yeah, extroverts have some like serious strengths in both personal and work relationships. They are natural communicators, as Cailyn said, able to express their thoughts clearly, which makes them great at connecting with others. So I think it's like they are born to be the winners or the main characters in life.
Yeah, they're actually good at networking and social with other people. They also easily build connection that can actually benefit their career. And I think many introverts naturally step into leadership, and I feel like they feel more comfortable to take the roles, and they really like to take in charge and inspiring others.
Yeah, honestly, I agree because I actually used to be classmates with like a really like extrovert. They're quite adaptable and they're like open to new experiences. They quickly adjust to the changing social situations. But with a general positive outlook, they can uplift the atmosphere like around them, like wherever they are, and they like to spread optimism wherever they go.
However, I believe that like being an extrovert has its challenges too. Like they may feel more uneasy while they are alone, and their quick actions can lead to like impulsive decision that they didn't think much about the consequences and long-term effects.
But actually, I think extroverts can overwhelm the introverts people because this sometimes extrovert people tend to say a lot of stuff, and this will cause like social tension between two different personality, and they might also seek more external validation for their self-esteem.
Yeah, okay, there's some misconceptions about the extroverts and I think it deserves some clarification. Like not all extroverts are like the life of the party. Some of them can be quite reserved in specific situations. Their sociability, I don't think it equates to superficiality. Like extroverts can possess deep thoughts and emotions also.
Yeah, although they are known for like a party people, but many of them do appreciate and enjoy their alone time to recharge and reflect, though they may need it less frequently than introverts now, of course.
I think being an extrovert means loving social interaction and simulation. They have strengths in relationships and but they also face challenges. Like understanding this can help the extrovert more, like they can connect better and they will control their extroverts thing to not overwhelm the introverts people, and I think that can help them connect better and also appreciate other personalities.
Yeah, but guys, actually, you know, at my MBTI, it's ENTJ, and ENTJ is all about being an extrovert. But I don't like to,
Like so super
yeah,
extrovert.
I don't like to talk to people at all unless I have to. So I don't know why it's like that.
So like in your case, we also have to consider that people can adapt their behavior depending on the situation. Like an introvert might also act more extroverted when they are surrounded with friends or people they are comfortable with. Like this kind of adaptability could definitely affect the test results even if their core personality doesn't really change. So you all have like probably met someone who is shy at first but opens out as you get to know them, right? Like honestly, I'm that type of person too.
Same.
I agree.
So I think the testing condition also very important, especially when the mood of or the environment when someone taking the test. Maybe this also can greatly affect their answers, especially when if a person feels very comfortable or excited during the test, the result might come out more extroverted.
Yeah, I think it's important to like distinguish between the preference and the ability, because like many introverts, they possess really good social skills and they can engage comfortably in like social situations. However, this doesn't necessarily indicate that like the preference is like always going to be like that. They might score as extroverted simply because they respond positively to social engagement, even if they need some downtime afterward lah.
Yeah, as we grow, definitely we will see ourselves change, right? So an introvert might start noticing they have picked up some extroverted habits, especially after certain life experience or just different stages in the life. So it's not that surprising if our personality test results start shifting a bit.
So additionally, when low pressure condition, the introvert people will feel more comfortable when taking the test, so the result might come out more extroverted.
I feel like the nature of MBTI questions is another factor that we need to consider. The binary choices often force respondents to select between options that reflect social behavior. So if both options hint at sociability, individuals may lean towards extroversion, even if like it doesn't necessarily reflect their overall preferences.
Yeah, I think when people see themselves as introverts but still get an extroverted result, it can happen for a lot of reasons, including context, self-perception, and even how the test is set up. So you don't need to struggle or doubt yourself because of it, and it's essential to remember that personality is complex, very complex, and individual can show traits from both introversion and extroversion.
Okay, Cailyn and Ying, let's talk a bit more about introversion. Since it's often misunderstood by people, can you break down what introversion really means?
Okay, yeah. Introversion as defined by Carl Jung, it's one of the primary personality orientation. It means that introverts tend to focus more on internal thoughts and feelings rather than the external stimuli. They recharge their energy through alone time and they prefer and like to do solo activities.
Right. And like that doesn't mean introverts are shy or antisocial, right?
Yeah, that's one of the big misconceptions there. Introverts can be like super confident and even outgoing when they're in comfortable settings. I've known a lot of my introverted friends who really shine in their own way, so they can totally flip the script and be the extroverted or the outgoing person when the situation calls for it. So it's all come down to how they manage their energy.
I see. Wait, fun facts, guys. Have you guys heard about World Introverts Day?
Huh? Who created World Introvert Day?
Hey,
Why?
You know that?
Why you need an World Introvert Day?
Okay, it's created by a German psychologist and author Felicitas Hein on 2nd January 2012. And it's a day to appreciate and recognize the introverts all around the world.
Oh, but in fact, according to the MBTI global sample, there are like 56.8% of the world's population is actually introverts now. So introverts aren't exactly a minority anymore, but it's still a fun day to acknowledge.
But what about World Extrovert Day though?
Oh my god. I'm so sad to tell you that there's no such extrovert day.
Oops.
Yes. Uh-oh.
I guess every day is the extrovert day.
Yeah, true. Okay, guys, so we've been talking about extrovert, introvert. How about ambivert? Is that a real term?
I don't know, I feel like it should be a real thing. If it's not a real thing, it should be a real thing because I feel like there are people who are both, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
But like according to the theory of the personality types of which the Myers-Briggs type indicator assessment is based, ambiverts don't exist.
Why?
Okay lah, I think to be fair, right, we cannot prefer both extroversion and introversion equally. Like one will always be stronger than the other, and like it may not always seem to dominate the other, but we can and like we do use both preferences every single day lah.
True. So basically one side will still be stronger even if there's like 49 per 51. So instead of saying we're ambivert, I mean, maybe we might just say as well as we're human.
Yeah, exactly. This is also the essence of MBTI, right? Like it's about choosing that what you naturally prefer rather than defining your entire personality.
Okay, so humans, I mean, we can conclude that extroverts enjoy social and introverts prefer spend alone time.
Yeah.
Welcome back! Okay, so Cailyn, you often use TikTok, right? I have a question. So why MBTI became so popular nowadays?
Okay, in my opinion, right, as an avid TikTok user, I feel like I always saw something similar like this kind of test. Like, I believe that the test like MBTI, it helps us to organize our self-perceptions and experiences into coherent wholes.
Like according to James Lane, a psychologist at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, puts it really well when she says that we all have this natural drive to understand ourselves and the people around us. So we often look for labels to make it easy and more simple and simplify those complex ideas and make sense of who we are.
I know, right? People tend to like such clear categories and they tend to fall into it. And I think humans are more complicated than just 16 personality types. I mean, the whole world is more than that.
Yeah, of course. Like even though MBTI is super popular now, like it doesn't really have a strong scientific backing and its reliability isn't great. So many psychologists avoid using it because it hasn't been proven by some solid research and it wasn't even created by trained psychologists in the first place.
I feel like somehow most people score very high. Sorry, most people score in the middle, with very few people scoring like very high or very low on any trait.
Yeah, I agree. I actually wonder what if we put like 100 of introverts in a room, do they find each other similar? Like, if I put 100 of INFP, do they find each other similar or they just stay in their own circles?
Yeah.
Do they mingle or social? What do you think?
Honestly, I think that's quite an interesting thing. I wish we could try it out.
Maybe they will not talk to each other because they are all introverts.
No, I'm pretty sure someone will talk to like someone. Like,
Yeah.
no way no one will talk
When
to
we're
each
in the
other.
middle.
Yeah, that's right.
The MBTI test isn't like putting you in a box, and it's more helping you to understand your preference and what you enjoy. So it doesn't define who you are as a whole because everyone is special.
Yeah.
So Zing, I heard a lot of companies and business owners, they always let their employees to do like D.I.D test. Have you heard about it? And what is D.I.D test?
Yeah, the D.I.D test is according to Marston, he identified like the 4 primary emotions and associated behavioral responses, which today we know as the D.I.D stand for dominance, influence, steadiness, and also conscientiousness.
So like, does that mean like D for dominance, like they will be very bossy but like good at leading people?
Yeah, they are normally good at leading people, but not all like D people are bossy. There's a combination of DI and I or ID also. They are usually measured as active, adventurous, and bold, so they can be friendly too.
Oh, I did not know that there's combination. That's interesting.
Okay, first up, we will start introducing the whole DID thing, and it will be a little bit long. Okay, first up, we have got D for dominant. So these people are your natural born leaders. They think more, think driven, strong-willed, and also ready to take charge. So next are the DI or ID, the fast-paced adventurers. These are the people who keep things dynamic and bold, also on to go. Now on to I for influencing. They are the social butterflies, lively, talkative, and also bringing the party wherever they go. So IS or SI, these are the warm-hearted ones. They are trusting, cheerful, and really care about building deep connections. Then for S stand for the steady. They are the calm, patient, and thoughtful people, like the ones you can always count on. Then we have SC or CS. This is where caution comes in. These folks are more careful, soft-spoken, and like to keep things under control. And finally, C for consciences. These are your analytical thinkers. They are a bit more reserved and emotional, but they have got their eyes on the details. So if you are a CD or DC type, you are definitely skeptical and disciplined, always thinking critically about the world around you.
I see. That's why this is why companies and business owners use this test. It actually helps the HR understand how people behave, and maybe they can know like what motivates the employee, what's the stressors, and it helps manager improve their leadership too.
Okay, I mean, all this is quite useful but like, is it trustable though?
So the foundation of the DISC was first described by William Moulton Master in his 1928 book, Emotions of Normal People. So this whole DISC thing is back like over 40 years of research-based assessment experience and 200 plus years of publishing excellence at Wiley.
I see. So let me conclude that DISC focus more on the behavior and how people interact, and knowing your DISC types also can help you understand teamwork and communicate better. And MBTI is more focused on personal preferences, and like it shows what tasks you might be good at, but it doesn't explain how to work with others.
Yeah, so some company will do DISC and MBTI together to collect like more data and also increase their employee retention.
Okay, but like now that we talk about DISC, like can we also discuss like the big 5 personality tests?
But does it also scientifically validated?
Yes, this test is most commonly used for psychology studies, originally developed in 1949, and it is a theory established by D.I.D, was later expanded upon by other researchers including Norman Smith, Goldberg, and McCrae and Costa.
Okay, from what I know, it's like openness to experience is inventive / curious versus consistent / cautious, and consciousness is efficient / organized versus extravagant / careless. Extroversion is basically outgoing / energetic versus solitary / reserved, and agreeableness is friendly / compassionate versus critical / judgmental. Neuroticism is sensitive / nervous versus resilient / confident.
Wow, I can see your effort, Cailyn.
So now we can conclude that the Big Five can help us understand that the general personality traits, and DISC explains more that how people act in a workplace or different situations, and MBTI is more about like personal preferences.
Yeah, so it's different tests to achieve different needs.
Damn, that's kind of cool.
So this is a wrap up for section 3. Let's take a short break before the session 4. Welcome back. So for this session we talk about some niche ideas. So thanks to everyone who stayed for this long with us.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, very spicy, like nasi kanda,
I know.
Okay, I'm ready to discuss the topics.
So for now we're jumping into something very a bit deeper, like dissociative identity disorder, D.I.D. And especially this whole idea is that people with D.I.D might have different result of MBTI personality test.
Let's get into it. Yeah. So a lot of people think that DID means multiple personalities, but that's not exactly right. So it's more like pieces of a single identity, and it usually happens because of childhood trauma like abuse.
Exactly, it's like a survival mechanism. The brain is kind of like split. It helps, it's split up like a protector personality to protect the main outer. And I think it's not a completely different person. I mean, I can say that it's different parts of the same person, and I think that's a really common misunderstanding about D.I.D.
Yeah, and D.I.D is way more complex than most people think, and I saw that authors can even take personal MBTI tests and get different results, like which is totally makes sense when you think about it. And there are like different sides of the same person, so their personality are a little different too.
Yeah, exactly. Some authors might get an extroverted result and some might get introverted, but there are also some authors share the same MBTI.
Yeah, it's not like it's black and white, where all authors are completely different. There's like some overlap to it.
So it's like showing different personality of you, but you're still you, but your personality changes when the situation change. And the idea is similar, like more extreme to the trauma, and that's why we need to talk it more carefully.
Exactly. So D.I.D is a serious topic, and the people who live with it have been through a lot. So it's important to understand that these different authors aren't like split personalities. They are all part of the same person, trying to survive.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about like surviving something that's really tough. And I think some people might think having different personality is very cool, but we need to respect for those who suffering and or like surviving in DID. And I think people who live with it is not that easy, we think, and definitely they don't think it's cool because it might affect their daily life. And what do you think about people who fix their MBTI to look cool?
TikTok has a lot of people who use MBTI for like content purposes, and yeah, some people actually might fake it to look cool because it's kind of trending right now. So everyone wants to be identified by a cool label So everyone just like how for example like some MBTIs are classified as cooler than others. So everyone wants to be cool. So they say, oh, I'm actually this MBTI when they're actually not an MBTI.
So how do you think that is?
I think a lot of it come down with the desire of validation. They want to fit in the society, the desirable image, and often the extroverted MBTI is seen more cool than introverted.
I think there's also a lot of like self-image issues at play here. Some people might feel insecure about their true traits, and like they wish that they could project something that feels more successful or likable. I think it's like they think if they become more like extrovert or like they score their MBTI as extrovert, they will be more popular.
Yeah, that makes sense. Plus, I have noticed that many people have a misunderstanding of the test itself. Like they might see the MBTI as a way to showcase an ideal version of themselves instead of using it for self-discovery.
Yeah, and there's something like exploration of identity, and some people might intentionally choose the answer that tends to reflect the traits they wish they had.
Yeah, and if like the friends are all talking about their cool extrovert types, it's easy to feel that peer pressure, They might think, oh, if my friends are all ENFJs, maybe I should like be an ENFJ too.
Yeah, and what about the cultural or workplace expectation? Like sometimes certain personality types are more celebrated more than others, so people feel the need to fit in.
Yeah, and it's not only about personality types, there's also the confusion between traits. Some people confuse being outgoing with being extrovert is the same thing, so they will choose answers based on what they seems to be cool, and instead of choosing what's their natural preferences.
Yeah, that's one thing we shouldn't forget is like the short-term goals, If someone thinks about being a specific type, like will help them get a job or social acceptance, they might skew with their answers just to fit into the mold.
But at the end of the day, it's crucial to remember that while we all are taking the test, it's important that we're being honest in our response. When we answer it honestly, we can gain more real insights about ourselves. So let's shift to another part. Have you guys heard of MBTI core? Like, I first saw it on Instagram stories.
MBTI core? Sounds cool though. What is it about?
I think it's like, I heard something about it lah. I think it's like the stereotypes or the interests like of each MBTI like type.
Yeah, you're right. Basically, the MBTI core is a visual representation of what each type stands for in terms of values, interests, aesthetics, and lifestyle. People collage their image they found on Pinterest and they share it on Instagram.
Oh, so it's kind of like if people stereotype ENTJ as a power-hungry CEOs.
Okay lah, like let's be a bit real. Like the stereotypes can be a bit off. Like all ENTJs are not cutthroat. I'm a very nice person, you know.
So that's why they are called stereotypes. So Emily, since you're an INFP, like what's a common stereotype people throw at you?
Okay, can I guess? I feel like you're into creative writing, like sharing your deep thoughts.
Yeah. But I don't always do that, but I do that sometimes lah.
Yeah, that's because like an INFP always go hand in hand with writing. So like what kind of writing do you enjoy?
Okay, I usually like journal my feelings and I also wrote some poetry, but it's a bit cringy. I don't do that like post it online. I just do it myself.
Okay, like that's pretty cool lah. I never tried journaling like to deal with emotions, but now I think I understand why people call you the typical INFP, always in touch with your feelings.
Like very drama.
We should try it, Cailyn. Like everyone has their own way of letting their emotions out, right? So how about we take a guess at my type INFJ? Any ideas?
I think since we're so similar, I bet you love animals.
Yep. Totally. So actually, there's this article on 16 Personality website about bonding with animals by personality type. It says that you and me and Emily and me have the strongest connection to animals.
That's so true. I have a strong bond with my pets. Like I have a puppy, and not a puppy. She's already like 13 years old. It's a dog. Yeah. And I have like
Big boy.
it's a female.
Big girl.
Yeah. And I had like 10 hamsters.
What?
Yeah. Before that. Now I only left one gecko.
Oh, what happened to all the hamster?
I'm gonna write my journal. Okay.
She will write poetry about you.
About the hamster, all 10 of the hamster.
So, what about you, Cailyn? Do you like animals?
Okay, wait. I'm an ENTJ, so like I'm a bit curious, like how do they describe me when it comes to animals?
Okay, funny enough, the article didn't mention ENTJs specifically.
Can't believe it. Wow.
But ESTJs were least likely to care about bonding with animals. So what's your take?
Honestly, I'm not into animals. I don't like animals, so I guess like I'm sorry, okay. I'm gonna journal about this festival. Like I'm not a fan of animals, so I think it matches with what they're saying.
Okay, back to MBTI core. How is this trend taking off online?
So people search for MBTI plus core on Pinterest and then they post collages of image they find on Instagram. I've done it for you guys.
Oh wow.
Really?
And I put together the keywords from those photos to share with you all.
What about mine? What mine is like?
Okay, so for you, ENTJ, the keywords are dark wipes. Coffee, money, queen, work, books, and laptops.
I gotta get that bag.
Sounds like girl boss energy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like Cailyn is a perfect girl boss.
Wow, I'm so flattered. Like, yeah, I actually do like all those things. I love money, especially.
Actually, me too.
You love money.
Yeah, I love money. But like, yeah, black is also my favorite color, so all me.
Yeah.
So for Emily, INFP, the keywords are girly, artistic, greenery, sunlight, and films.
I would say it's entirely accurate, but some of it is true lah.
Crazy Jiller. How can these Pinterest images fit our personalities so well? Like, it's like we're all like the same across the world.
I know, right? Like I have no clue how they do it.
What about you?
So mine is a little gloomier, like a camera, nature, bed, sea, and grass. So like it's more like a field before the rain, gloomy but alive, cozy but not dark like Cailyn's vibe lah.
Wow, you really call me out like that. But like, okay, honestly, I love how you're in like the grey area between Emily and me. It's fun trying to match pictures with our MBTI types lah.
Okay, so guys, this is so fun. So you can search it up on Pinterest, MBTI plus core, so you can know what's your vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, have you guys heard of the MBTI compatibility charts? It's kind of like the zodiac compatibility.
Yeah, if you like Google MBTI compatibility chart, you will see some suggested matches based on personality traits. I didn't expect that actually.
Do they do for the zodiac signs too?
Like not really. I think Google has the answers for MBTI. It's because it's really popular now.
Oh. Wow, so Google is also following the trend.
Yeah, they customize a section for MBTI. And with MBTI compatibility, the focus is on shared traits like sensing S or intuition N, and thinking T or feeling F. So those with similar traits tend to get along better.
So like, the more the similar the traits, the better the compatibility.
Yeah, so since Emily and I share the three traits, like we are a good match.
Does that mean we're meant to be besties?
Oh, the best match is right here, guys.
INFP and INFJ and INFP make a thoughtful, sincere pair.
Aww.
But I'm sorry, Emily. We're impossible to be together.
That's so sad. It's okay. I don't trust this stuff.
But like, okay, anyways, like, don't you guys think that the description of love and like thoughts for INFJs and INFPs are like very like, too typical? I mean, like, they could apply to anyone, right?
Yeah, that's always the argument that MBTI description are a bit too broad. Sometimes it feels like they're just general enough to connect with pretty much anyone.
Yeah, I know, right? So now that we know about MBTI, shall we have a debate session that how reliable are personality tests like MBTI for understanding people?
Okay, yep, sounds like a plan. Get a drink and we'll get into it after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time to dive into a friendly debate. So our topic today is, are personality tests like MBTI truly reliable and beneficial in understanding people?
So I'll be representing the anti-MBTI side.
And I will be representing the pro MBTI side.
So I will be here to guide the debate and provide some additional insights. Are you guys ready to start?
Yes, let's break it down.
Okay, start.
I start with saying that the Myers-Briggs Types Indicator, MBTI, was created by two women, that Catherine Cook Briggs and her daughter, Isabel Briggs Meyer, a bank clerk. Neither of them have any scientific training whatever. They based on the work of Carl Jung's theory, which, while influential, were never scientifically validated. So this is very important. We're just trusting a system that created by non-experts.
Yeah, you're right, Emily. Catherine and Isabel, they built MBTI from Jung's theory, but as you said, they weren't professionally trained in psychology, Instead, they adapt his complex stories and simplify them into a personality framework that could be applied to everyday life. So the questionnaire, they developed around 90 questions with simple yes, no, or neutral answers that aims to identify which of the 16 types someone might belong to. So, but as you say, the concern is that can sometimes feel like it's putting people into fixed box, like limiting them to a certain labels.
Exactly, and also that leads to another issue, foreign effects, and also known as Barnum effect. MBTI gives like such general description that could apply to anyone, and people want to make it personal, but it's just a generalization. We often focus on what we resonate with, that relate to us.
Okay, while I agree that there is some truth to the Barnum effect, I think MBTI is more than just vague statements. The test offers a framework that helps people understand themselves and others better, even if it's not like scientifically perfect, you know. It's useful in everyday life, like in the workplace or for personal growth.
Yeah, that's true, Cailyn. Like studies have shown that many organizations use MBTI to improve team dynamics and communication. For example, major firms like Goldman Sachs, McKinsey, Deloitte, and Accenture have used it with their staff. So more than 10,000 companies, 2,500 colleges and universities, and 200 government agencies in the United States use the test, according to an investigation by the Washington Post. It may have its critics. It remains a popular tool for helping people identify strengths and preference, especially in work environments.
I mean, I cannot deny it's helpful, but there's sometimes a danger lies. People misuse the MBTI to like use as an excuse that oh, I'm very introvert person, so I will not approach to people when I need help, and it's kind of like makes people stay in their comfort zone and never try to like grow up. And
Yeah, that's an excuse for them.
yeah, it can hold back people that instead of encouraging them to like explore outside. Yeah, I think a lot of people misuse that.
Yeah, that's an important criticism also. Like some argue that using MBTI labels could reinforce unhelpful behaviors instead of encouraging flexibility. So what do you think, Ying?
I get that concern, but it really depends on how someone uses MBTI. If you view it as a tool, not a rule, it can be really, really beneficial. But it's not meant to box people in, it's more of a guide to help them recognize their tendencies and work on their weaknesses. In fact, I think using MBTI can inspire people to step out of their comfort zone, and once they understand like their natural preferences, it's much easier for them to understand themselves.
Yeah, that's right. Using MBTI as a starting point for self-awareness rather than a strict label seems to be a key here.
But I mean, the big problem about MBTI is that the results aren't consistent. That okay, so people can take the test multiple times and get a different result just between like 2 weeks, and a study shows that up to 50% of people may get a different type after retaking the test after a few weeks later. If your type keeps changing, how reliable the test can be?
Yeah, that's an important point too. In fact, research supports that the idea that personality traits can change over time due to factors like life experiences, stress, or even social environments, also can shift based on age and circumstances.
Okay, while it's true that personality traits can evolve, MBTI does acknowledge this. Personality may develop and be influenced by family, culture, peers, relationships, trauma, and so much more. However, according to the 16 personalities, they do emphasize growth and they change. And change doesn't necessarily mean your core traits disappear, they just evolve.
Okay, even if that's true, MBTI always give like flattering description, like everyone never gets a negative like types, and every type is positive, such like positive types, and give you like such positive description that you will feel very good, so you might really trust this because people tend to like trust things that resonate with them, and which this is not realistic. And I mean, it would be better if MBTI tests point out our weakness and the traits we need to really face it.
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective. The test certainly seems designed to make people feel good, like about themselves. But Cailyn, how would you like address the criticism that MBTI doesn't give a balanced view of someone's strengths and weaknesses?
Okay, MBTI's goal isn't to criticize, it's more about helping people find out what works for them in their personal growth. While it is true that the descriptions are positive, it test aims to guide people towards understanding their natural strengths. And once you know your tendencies, you can work on improving areas where you might struggle.
I'm not saying MBTI is completely useless, but we need to recognize its limitations, and it's more like an entertainment tool than a scientifically valid way to understand people.
Yeah, and I would say that like it is valuable if it's used wisely, as long as people don't rely too heavily on it or they use it as an excuse for what they do.
Yeah, both sides make excellent points. So on one hand, MBTI can help us understand ourselves better, but it's important not to treat it as the final word on the personality.
Okay, guys, what do you think? Do you think MBTI is a very useful tool or is just for entertainment? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or you can DM us.
We will get back to you if we are not busy.
Oh, girl boss! Okay, that's all from us today. Thanks for staying so long with us, and please subscribe and leave a like and comments. And we'll see you next time.
Yay!
So let's do this.
Together.
This is Mamak Media. Lepak together.
Share cerita!
Bye.